Hello, viewers. So, we are here with this poem, My Mother at 66, Class 12 CBSE Board. The poet of this poem is Kamla Das. Kamla Das was born in Malabar, Kerala. So, here you can see the picture of the poet. She was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is recognized as one of India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality, versatility, and the indigenous flavor of the soil. So, without taking much time, we are going to begin with the text. Before taking the lines of the poem, we are going to discuss the themes. So, the very first theme of this poem is old age, because poetess is there with her old aged mother. Then death. So, the approaching death of her mother. This thought was going on in her mind. So, death is also one of the themes of this poem. Ultimately, the human being cannot avoid death. So, death and separation. So, separation is also an inevitable part of human life. When we live in this world, so yes, sometimes we will have to go here and there, and separation becomes inevitable. Okay, so this is a poignant poem by Kamla Das which deals with themes of aging, a person's love for her mother, separation, uncertainty and death. तो ये एक प्रोमिनेंट पोम है कमला दास की लिखी हुई, जिसके थीम्स हैं एजिंग, उम्र का बढ़ना, जो कि इंसान के लिए अनअवॉइडेबल काइंड ऑफ थिंग है। एक पर्सन का अपनी मदर के साथ जो बॉन्डिंग है वो भी इसका थीम है। सेपरेशन इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द थीम्स। Uncertainty and death means uncertainty. We are always uncertain about our life, and death, as it is inevitable, so death is also one of the themes. This is a first person confessional poem. So here poet is making a kind of confession, okay? And first person. Poet herself is the narrator here, or we may say the main character. That captures the reader's attention and provides a glimpse of mother-daughter relationship. So this poem is remarkable for mother-daughter relationship. The poem captures the speaker's thoughts, and the poem is written in a single sentence. So mark this thing, the whole poem is written in single sentence, and it particularly depicts very nicely the thoughts of the speaker, who is poet. If we talk about the tone of the poem is conversational, as if she's talking maybe to the readers. Then death is inevitable, but people still fear the death of their near and dear ones. So this is also one of the themes of this poem. Then the poem defines poet's fear of her losing mother. So when we go through the poem, we find that she is feeling a kind of ache, a kind of pain, and this is the pain of losing her mother. So now moving to the text. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning. So, as if she is talking to the readers. Okay, so she says, I was driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning. So, last Friday की सुबह को मैं कोचीन एयरपोर्ट जा रही थी, and I was leaving my parents' home. And while driving, okay, so the poet was driving, and while driving, I saw my mother. She looks towards her mother beside me, who was sitting beside her, जो कि उनके बगल में ही बैठी हुई थी. Doze. She was taking a nap. वो थोड़ा ऊँघ रही थी. Open mouthed. उनका मुंह खुला हुआ था. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. And her face was ashen. Ashen means quite dull, just like ashes. Okay, like that of a corpse, and it was as dull as a lifeless body. Okay, like is here, so simile is here. And realized with pain, and poet realized with pain, so she felt a kind of pain in her heart. जो पोएट थी, जब उन्होंने अपनी मदर को अपने बगल में बैठे हुए देखा, जो कि ऊँघ रही थी, जिनका मुंह खुला था और चेहरा एशेज के जैसा डल था, फीका था, जैसे कि कोई डेड बॉडी हो. And realized with pain, and she realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. So she has grown extremely old as she was looking right now, but soon put that thought away. But as here was a comparison with corpse, dead body, okay? So she was not willing to think that way about her mother. Okay, so very soon to put that thought away, उस thought को दूर करने के लिए, and looked out at young trees sprinting. So she was not willing to think that way, that she is going to lose her mother, that her mother is going to meet her end very soon. So इस thought को वो अलग हटाना चाहती थी, दूर फेंकना चाहती थी. So in order to remove that thought from her mind, she started to look out at young trees sprinting. So she started to look out of the window of car, and what she saw the sprinting trees, the trees which were leaving behind very rapidly. Okay, so when she looked outside, and as it is a very common scenario, when we look outside from some moving vehicle, it appears as if the trees are running behind. तो उसने, जो पोएट है, उन्होंने यही देखा कि जो ट्रीज थे वो भाग रहे थे. The married children, and at the same time she noticed that some children, they were making merry, they were happy, spilling out of their homes, and they were just playing out of their homes. So here we can notice one thing. Here she was describing the old age of her mother, the dullness of her face, okay, maybe a fear she was having that she would not be able to look at her again. But yes, very soon she shifts her mind and she starts to look outside. So this is a contrast. Okay, sprinting trees, yeah, trees is sprinting, and merry children, they are in contrast to the ashen face of her mother, right? So this is a kind of contrast. Trees is sprinting and the merry children, they are actually symbolic of vitality, they are symbolic of, cheerfulness. Sprinting means otherwise hota hai fast. Okay, so when observed from the moving car, the trees appeared her to be sprinting, and merry children, it gives out a very happy kind of picture. Okay, that is totally in contrast to the beginning lines of the poem. So merry children, and the trees both represent life, growth, and vitality. Okay, and we can say that this picture is in sharp contrast to that of her old and fragile mother. So this is a contrast given here. Okay. Moving ahead, we see, but after the airport's security check, so when she reached there, security check was over. Standing a few yards away, she was standing at some distance. Okay. I looked again at her. So poet says that she looked again at her, or towards her mother, Van. Okay. Her face was again looking so dull, pale, yellowish, means unhealthy yellow, as a late winter's moon. And for comparison here, poet has used winter's moon, late winter's moon. So the dullness of her face could be compared with the winter's moon, late winter's moon. So as is here, again simile is here. Okay, and felt, and poet realized that old familiar ache. So this familiar ache means the ache, the pain that she used to feel in her childhood days as well. Okay, uh, her mother's face was looking hazy like the winter's moon. Okay, and this kind of a face was symbolic that she was moving away from life. Okay, she, when she reaches the airport, she bids farewell to her mother. Okay, and she feels that familiar ache, means the ache, the pain of her childhood days. When she was so young, my childhood's fear, when she was so young, she was a child, as it is usual for every child. जैसा कि हर बच्चे के साथ होता है, if mother goes somewhere, the child feels that perhaps he is going to lose his mother forever. Okay, so maybe बचपन में उन्होंने भी इस डर को अपनी माँ के लिए महसूस किया होगा. कभी माँ दूर गई तो सोचा होगा कि शायद अब वो दोबारा नहीं मिल पाएंगी. So that was the childhood familiar ache or pain again she felt in her heart right now when she looked towards her mother. But all I said was, but she didn't say any of her, she didn't express any of her emotion in front of her mother. She controlled herself, she controlled her emotions, and she said only this thing: see you soon, Amma. Amma, I will see you soon. I will meet you soon. All I did was smile and smile and smile. And what she could do? Only smile and smile and smile. So actually, this was the smile behind which she was actually trying to uh, disguise, or she was trying to hide her real feelings or emotions. Okay, behind she hides her fear, she hides her emotions behind a smile, and she simply says, "See you soon, Amma." So this way, we may say the poet masks or conceals or hides her anxiety and fear with her smile and reassures her mother to meet again. So this way, she is being brave and hopeful. So poem ends at an optimistic note. Still, although she has fear, but yes, she is hopeful that she will meet her mother again. Right? I hope the meaning of the poem is quite clear to you. जो पूरी poem है वो आपको बिल्कुल एकदम clear हो गई है. And next we may discuss the poetic devices in the poem. So simile, as I told you while teaching or explaining the lines, this is there in two lines. One, as a late winter's moon, and another, her face ashen like that of a corpse. So these are the examples of simile. And then personification is also there. Okay, you may see here the sprinting trees, लेकिन भागता कौन है? कोई जीता जागता इंसान. Okay, so what is personification? Attributing human qualities to inanimate things. So trees को एक human की तरीके से भागता हुआ बताया है. Trees sprinting. In this phrase we say personification. Okay, then alliteration. Okay, so what is alliteration? Alliteration is a device wherein the sentence consists of a series of words that have the same consonant sound at the beginning. So here we can say, and all I said was, see you soon, Amma. So said, see you soon. Okay, and all. So here, uh, and all to nahi, but yes, said was, see you soon. S sound is repeated again and again. Okay, so S is consonant, and when consonant sound is repeated, we know that alliteration, this poetic device is there. Okay, then come to the next one. So repetition is also there. What is repetition? In this device, a word or phrase is repeated to enhance the poetic effect. Okay, so poetic effect को enhance करने के लिए repetition. This is a poetic device that is used by the poets. And here in this poem, last line we can say, all I did was smile and smile and smile. So simply, poet is giving actually stress on this thing, smile and smile and smile, because this was an imposed smile. This was not the natural one. This was the imposed smile behind which she was trying to hide her fear and anxiety. Okay. Then imagery and contrast. So contrast I already explained you, and yes, imagery is also there. Okay, imagery means the image of that particular scene is there in your mind as soon as you read those lines. So it presents sharp contrasting things or ideas. Okay, so imagery and contrast means it presents sharp contrasting things or ideas. For example, merry children spelling. Okay, so merry children spelling, this is a picture of youth and vitality as opposed to the old and aging mother. So children are symbolic of new life. Somewhere this idea can also be conveyed that through these merry children, poet has given the idea that life goes on. Okay, if someone loses or meets his or her end of life, so yes, new life is also there, full of energy, full of enthusiasm. So this is a picture of youth and vitality as opposed to the old and aging mother. Okay, so in merry spelling children, we can say that this is a contrasting image. Okay, and sprinting trees is imagery. We imagine the whole scene in front of our eyes. Okay, so somewhere I think the whole poem is clear to you. Okay, if we discuss the questions given there at the back of your chapter, what is the kind of pain and ache that the poet feels? So childhood pain, why are the young trees described as sprinting? Because they are symbolic of energy, enthusiasm, new life, okay, and the passing years also. Why has the poet brought in the image of the merry children spilling out? So right now I have explained you that merry children spilling out of their homes is totally in contrast to the previous image of the mother where she is looking old and fragile. Okay, so this merry children presents happy picture, and they represent life and growth and vitality. Okay, so why has the mother been compared to the late winter's moon? Because her face is as hazy or dull as the hazy moon of late winters. Then what do the parting words of the poet and her smile signify? So this signifies that life goes on and ultimately the reality is faced with boldness, and a smile was there simply to hide her pain and agony. Hope the things are clear, and if you want any video on some other poem or chapter, please write in the comment box. Subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.